grew up with the anime growing
Exactly.
up.
And the kids today are working with the anime now. Like, they're going to look at this with modern technology, modern animation, and say, wow, this is awesome. And they're not going to look at the old stuff with the exact same amounts of openness because they have no emotional attachment to it.
What are we talking about?
Pokemon, old school versus new school.
You wanted to talk about nostalgia in general?
Yeah, sure, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
You know one thing I truly missed back from Cartoon Network's heyday?
Yeah.
Cartoon Friday. That was the one
I actually did used to fuck with that.
Yes, that was the one time I actually looked forward to Friday. Before I met with alcohol and money and big booty bitches. I'm kidding.
Really, bitches.
I'm kidding.
Bitches.
Before, like, no, but on legit, no, before, like, us partying and having all these drugs, it was Cartoon.
How would you say that on camera? Before us partying and having all these drugs? This is terrible, by the way.
Yeah, of course it's terrible. It's freaking seltzer. Seltzer's disgusting in general.
Everybody's been hyping this shit up. What the fuck?
It's, what you said of Travis Scott. If a celebrity says it's good, then everybody's gonna fucking buy it.
No, but even like
you
White
hear me?
Claw and shit.
White Claw's fucking disgusting.
Y'all hear me when I said this is terrible? I said like 20 minutes ago.
I couldn't
I'm
tell you
pouring
that.
this
Why'd
shit
you
down the
see,
drain.
look, y'all think I was just being judgmental or being a little punk. But
No, I didn't say it was gonna be good at all. But I didn't think it was gonna be that fucking bad.
yes, it's fucking seltzer.
This is tequila
No, nigga,
seltzer.
seltzer is not
Seltzer's
bad.
ass, my
This
guy.
is terrible. I've had decent seltzers
This is
before.
so not sponsor
This is
friendly.
terrible.
Look, that's where y'all messed up, okay? See, you done messed up, Elon. So, going off the nostalgia trip, you know, look, as I was saying, back then, Cartoon Friday was the shit I looked forward to growing up. And if I was on punishment and I actually was a good kid, I got to watch that. And it would just hype me up knowing that we got to watch all these new episodes of like shows we used to like, Ed, Edd n Eddy, 𝐲 𝐤 𝐿, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Or what made me even more happier was during Cartoon Fridays when they premiered a new series of cartoons. That shit had me hyped because I was like, yes, I get to watch it. Then after Cartoon Friday, we went into Toonami. Then after Toonami, we went to Adult Swim. And if you're one of those slick ass kids who knew how to watch late night TV shows like your parents catching you and whooping your ass, then that's when you got to watch all like the animes, like the old school animes. I'm talking like Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam, Inuyasha, and just like all the old school animes that you grew up with and learned how to like freaking get into anime with. That's some of the main things that really hyped me up about Fridays and Saturdays, you know?
What's your nostalgia? Food. Okay.
I was late to... Oh yeah, speaking of food, the old school Pizza Hut where you got inside and it was like a buffet, and then that's when like stuffed crust was like the hypest thing ever.
That shit was terrible.
You hate stuffed crust?
The thing I feel like I miss the most is Blockbuster. I really
Yes!
I miss
Fucking
going to
Blockbuster.
goddamn movie theater. Not movie theater. I mean, even nowadays, movie theaters aren't even fucking open. So I really do miss the experience.
We're in a
going.
parallelogram, of course it's not open.
Hello. Oh,
We're in a perpendicular, okay, man.
Yeah. But yeah, even movie theaters aren't open. I really do miss going to what did I say? Blockbuster.
And renting out all your videos, games, and other stuff.
I used to mostly just like renting games. I'm still mad that there's not really a good equivalent. I've never tried GameFly.
No, but then
GameFly was weird.
The market died down. I mean, just think about what the gaming community is like now compared to what 20 years ago.
Yeah, you have a lot of DLCs and all these electronic downloads.
Nowadays, most gamers are essentially YouTubers. And
unfortunately, and Twitters.
So nowadays, the community is just a small percentage of people who are on Twitch or live streaming all the time, and the rest of them are just people that just watch live streams constantly, play games for like, I don't know, 30, half an hour a week. I don't know, it just became a weird saturated community where
That's the
instead
thing.
of all of us coming together to playing video games online, it's just a bunch of advertisers for YouTubers to make money off of their story.
Well, but that's if you just actively participate, I guess, in the mainstream market for that stuff. I mean, because streaming has been the idea for everybody who was ever a gamer. Everybody who games is like, I just want to be able to make money playing video games all day. That's basically all that is. I'm not gonna say the market is necessarily ruined for that, but the whole DLC thing, that's just, I feel like every company is trying to get closer and closer to your bank account.
Microtransactions.
Yeah, all that stuff. Or even just really having the power of your money in their hands. And the more points, more opportunities there is to take your money, they will always go for it. What do you say, capitalism? Ultimate business model is slavery.
It's slavery. No, wait, look, there's a reason why here in America the philosophy is getting paid time off is something sickening, in that every single hour you need to be working, which is where micromanagement comes into play.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to work every single hour out of you.
Like if they're paying for that time, you're gonna be working that whole time, busting your ass that whole time too.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like some bullshit. I mean, it's like when you go out to European countries and you see they have some socialistic laws. Shoot, this man's calling me. Have some kind of socialistic laws, like, I don't know, every single employer gets a month worth of paid time off for every year, and it rolls over. Here in America, it's not guaranteed. So it's like your workers can't take a break. They don't have lives. No, we're not gonna pay for that. If you're not doing anything that is remotely related to the company, we're not spending a single damn down on you.
Which is fucking crazy. It's stupid, honestly. And what sucks is that some of these people work themselves to death, and even if they work themselves to death, if they die or something happens to them, I guarantee you, less than a week, they're already replaced with somebody else who can do their job, either for less pay or even better.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally 100% the case. I feel like they just think we're like, it's cogs in the machine. It's the whole assembly line thing. If everybody just does their part or whatever, the machine, being the company, can just print out money, basically. It should just be able to be switched on and be on autopilot. A lot of people have that mentality, that is what, I guess, working in America should be like. But let's talk about burnout.
Oh,
worker burnout,
bro,
yeah,
you're talking.
Like, you talking about worker burnout, student burnout, no, yeah,
all that stuff.
I think student burnout is something that we definitely do have to discuss.
I think that's one of the many things that doesn't get addressed more enough, because that's one of the hardest things that also leads to many people's failures in dropping out of college or any other type of school.
Yeah, but a lot of people see that as a privilege just to be able to be there anyway. So they,
I mean, it's a privilege, and at the same time, it's also one of those many things that are a requirement that kind of fucking sucks. Because I hate how the fact that we need a fucking piece of paper to say, hey, you're required or you have the skills to get this job. Oh, wait, no, you need to get a master's now, and you need to have at least a year of experience for this damn job. And it's just like, god dang, you know?
Well, college was never really meant to be
for everybody.
Or really even for jobs. Especially not liberal arts.
I'm going to do a PSA real quick. College was never created to get you a job.
You should come closer to the camera too.
Yeah. For example, I've noticed that they've been taking a lot of trading schools or classes out of public schools, like schools with like, a machine shop, auto body, carpentry, pretty much trading, hands-on work. But then they focus on students going to college.
For like the theoretical stuff.
Yeah, the theoretical, the mind stuff, just the education aspect. When we know that college is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And college was only designed for the top of the top people, scholars, to go out and improve on their critical thinking.
Yeah.
Or at least get more knowledge in their studies. But but like I said before, over the past 30 years, those programs have been taken away from public schools. So now everybody is taught that college is the only way to go. So I'll tell you right now, even at my high school, since I was a science and tech program, they hammered all of us to do, our SATs, to apply to colleges and everything. But they never really even talked about going to trade school or learn how to do certain things with your hands. It's like only one sector of the economy is being pushed, particularly on, in the black community. But however, there's actually a huge hole in a severe amount of jobs for electricians, plumbers, carpenters, you name it.
Damn.
I'm serious, bro. It's really nuts. So I'm just saying that if you don't like college, check out trade school, please.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I never really wanted to use my degree. Like, I wanted to get like something kind of related to my field, something like marketing or something. But to be honest, I don't know why I picked psychology. I think I'm just really good at understanding people, and I have a real passion for it. But
then that's it. That's it. I mean, that's it. I mean, like, you know,
I don't really expect to have any work come out of that.
Yeah, and that's the key. It's like you went to school not because you're trying to look for a paycheck. Because if you want a quick paycheck, you do a STEM field for the most part.
Yeah.
Like there's no offense to any people with these degrees, but I never understood why people go to college and get a degree in a fine arts major that has a lower return on investment to like job market.
No,
and they're thinking that they're gonna get a high paying job, but taking on like $150,000 in debt.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing is, all companies have that super rigorous. You have to have 5 years worth of experience and blah blah blah. So they kind of have to go to art school to even get these jobs, because they're not going to take anybody who doesn't study all the bougier aspects of it. Let's talk about worker burnout.
Yeah, let's have to go there. Good old Myles.
Speaking of burned out,
What's up?
burnout?
Worker burnout, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You look exhausted, man.
Yeah,
I am
burnt out.
exhausted. I'm not burnt out though. I'm just tired in general. It's just like my sleep schedule is kind of a little weird. So 5:30 I usually wake up because my dog always comes wake me up so I can take her out. From there to 7, I'm up trying to like just gather my thoughts, trying to motivate myself. Around 7:30 to like 8:30, I go for my run. From there, I do other exercises until like 10:30. Then that's when I shower. From there, from like then till 11:45, I'm usually like getting ready, preparing. So, you know, making my meals, I relax. You know, I try to get my mind right. So at 11:45, I head to work. I gotta be in by 12:30. I usually get there by 12:15. 12:15, I get there. I set up everything I gotta do for when I get into the classroom. Because when I get into the classroom, I gotta make sure all the equipment is cleaned up, or at least some other things where the kids are good. So from 12,
Tell the audience what you do.
I'm telling you this.
Never
Like your the
the
title.
position.
Oh, I'm an afternoon teacher for my school. I work with 4 to 5 year
That
olds.
lady Myles is a
School teacher.
He's a school teacher and he's in the military.
He loves kids.
Not like that. But yeah, so
I mean, I feel like you shouldn't have to specify that. But yeah, as long
when
as that's
Tony
cleared
said
up.
that sounded kind of sus. So
Cough this shit out.
Oh no.
So from 12:30 to like 2:30, the kids are taking their naps. So I'm in charge of like washing the toys they played with all day, like putting their meals up, cleaning everything else in the classroom, or like also filling up their water cups just to make sure they're hydrated. So once 2:30 hits, that's when we wake them up. They use the bathroom. They go outside around 3. When 3 o'clock hits, that's when we can bring them back in. They eat their snacks. By 3:30, they all got to line up to go, ready to go play out again. And from 4
Where do they actually learn?
well, they don't. I don't teach them anything unless I work mornings. But most of the time, Miss Portia, my boss in that classroom, she teaches them like their ABCs, their numbers, colors, different days, and all that. You know, the basic stuff they gotta get ready for kindergarten. So I'm just basically like, I'm their babysitter at that point, because it's afternoon time. They already learned their stuff for the day, so they want to play and have a good time. So when I'm there, if I'm not teaching them a life lesson or telling them a cool story, I'm literally just playing with them. So most of the time they want us to play tag, freeze tag, or they want me to do any activities. Today we did soccer with them. It was really fun. The girls kicked the guys' butts today, but luckily I was being a referee and the boys managed to win. So but yeah, from 4 o'clock to
Working
5
with kids
o'clock.
has to be hard though.
It is. It's stressful because I want to cuss them out because they be doing some dumb shit or being really ignorant. And my school is predominantly white, so it's just like I really be thinking, fucking white people. There's some, like, literally I've had to put my kids on punishment with them because they were being very disrespectful and rude to me. And like there was this one girl, she was like, "Mr. Myles, stop talking, you're interrupting me." I was like, I looked around trying to see who the fuck she thinks she was talking to, because she had me fucked up. But it is rewarding too though, because like the kids, every time I come in, I'm like, "Hello children," they're like, "Mr. Myles." So, you know, it's really nice knowing that even though it's like stressful, it's nice knowing that you've made an impact. Because I've talked to their parents whenever they come get them from 4 to 5. Oh yeah, that's another thing I do. 4 to 5, I'm usually getting the kids and getting them to their parents at the front of the school. And just like, "Hey, your mom's here, let's go." So yeah, and it's like their parents won't be like, "Hey, we've heard nothing but good things from you. You're always such a good influence on my kids. Thank you so much." Heck, I even got certain parents now wanting me to babysit their kids because they were like, "Oh, once they leave here and start kindergarten, they won't see you anymore. So come babysit for us so they can still be
unethical though. That has to be unethical.
Not really. As long as I don't do anything sus or like anything that's gonna make everything seem out of place or like something that could hinder the child's lifestyle, then I'm good.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think parents should be approaching their teachers and being like, "Please personally babysit my child."
A lot of my coworkers do that too, and they've had nothing but good times with the kids. So I was like, okay, cool. Honestly, a month ago, I had one of the kids I worked with, like in my classroom. I babysat, and we had a great time. We went to a birthday party and everything, and like their parents really trusted me, and I was glad about that. And this Sunday, I have one of the other kids in my classroom. I'm watching them while his parents are preachers, so you know they're doing a morning service. So I'm going to be watching him during that time. So. Yeah, that's a day in the life of Mr. Myles working at my school.
That sounds.
How do you prevent burnout?
How do I prevent? I do my coping mechanisms of journaling, exercise, hanging out with y'all, just taking time to do some things I really enjoy, like playing video games, just singing from car rides home, or just going for walks with Luna. And yeah, that's one of many things I try to do. And actually trying to get a decent hour of sleep. Like, I think probably the latest I go to sleep nowadays is like 12, compared to how like back in college, 2 o'clock was when I would go to sleep. But now I go to sleep at 12, wake up around 5, so I get at least like 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Not too bad. Could do better.
4 to 5 hours. Yeah, that's not enough.
The thing is that's what
Brian
culture has taught us, that you know, less sleep is good because that means you have more time to work and make money. But I'm like, no, if you don't get enough sleep, you're
gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
you're killing yourself.
I don't know how, but every time I look at my watch to see how much I get sleep, it still says 7 hours. So maybe I'm falling asleep and waking up early, like certain parts.
Your watch monitors how long you sleep?
Yeah.
You don't know how long you sleep?
Sometimes I just pass out and I don't even remember.
You sleep with the watch on?
Yeah. I always charge it, and then once it's fully charged, I put it on my wrist and just go to sleep with it.
Even still, man, it's just, I don't know, like, America prioritizes working yourself to death. Pretty much work and making money over the quality of life.
Yeah.
That is your health.
That's the American dream.
Yeah. There was a movie that Michael Moore did. It's like a documentary. Can't remember what it's called either. But basically, it was a satire where he says, America has invaded Iraq for oil, this, and this. What about, why don't I go out here and start invading countries and taking their stuff? So he goes to Italy, and then he says that, this land, people are happy at work. Why is that? So he goes in, people's workplaces and interviews them, and then he finds out that people in Italy receive around 30 days a year, the government mandated paid time off. And I believe those months roll over each year as well.
And you know what's crazy? Everybody in America always thinks, oh, that wouldn't work. All the companies would have business. But for every other, like McDonald's, for example, in other countries, if the minimum wage is $22, $21, whatever dollars, they just pay it. Yeah, because it's like any other wage. They don't, they want to keep it cheaper because they have to spend less money. But it's not going to make them go bankrupt. These people are super mega billionaires. We're not talking about they get $1 billion total, they get billions and billions a year. They can afford to pay their employees more, and they would just have to come out of their $1 million salaries. So I don't understand. I mean, people think they're going to go bankrupt that way again. In every other country on earth, they just pay the higher.
That's bullshit nonsense. Because
honestly,
again, another. Wait, what, Myles?
I was gonna say, like, the last time the union has somehow raised minimum wage was like 15 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, why are we still $7.25? This makes no fucking sense. Like, how?
And the thing is, a company is going to pay the minimum amount you're going to force them to pay.
And I just want to point out something real quick. I just want to do some math, right? A minimum wage is $7.25, which is horseshit.
Yep.
High school should get paid $7.25.
Yes. Like,
nobody should be getting paid $7.25.
And you get
most high schoolers only work because they have to support their families.
that, or they want to make money for themselves. So
Exactly.
Sure, and I don't understand why we wouldn't want to give them money. They're the people going into the future.
They say they say that moving up to $15 would cost too much. I'm like, well, truthfully, no, it doesn't. Let me see, because if you do $15 an hour, 15 times 8 is, well, I don't know, 120 a day, 120 times 5, that's like, what, $600 a week?
Mm-hmm.
That's around $24,000 a year. That's still not a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right.
The average cost to live in most cities is far above that.
And doubling someone's salary, just go from $7.25 to $15, which is still not a lot to live with in America, it's still a pretty big jump for people.
So, and there are a lot of stores now, like the Amazon, they have, what is it called, Amazon Go? You ever seen that?
Like the store where it's like you just go in there
and you just pick up stuff what you want and go out, and they'll charge your Amazon account. They're intentionally trying to get rid of employees, so they don't have to pay them as much. The only reason that Amazon, and this is going to be so...
tinfoil?
No, not tinfoil.
Okay.
What's the word for it? Non-sponsor friendly?
Non-sponsor friendly, okay.
Yeah. That should be the name of this episode, non-sponsor friendly.
I'll write that down.
Write that down.
But the only reason they argued to raise the minimum wage is because they could afford to pay a little bit more. They can afford to pay about $15, but the rest of their competition couldn't. So it just raised their... what's the word? They had to raise that and their expenses and drove a lot of their competitors out of business or are making them compete harder. But Amazon is the exact example of a sweatshop. People go in there and are peeing in bottles and stuff. What did they say in response to that? They said nobody would come here and just pee in this bottle.
One of our
They
best
denied.
One of our best friends, our good old buddy Grant, has told us about his experience from working at Amazon, and he said, and I quote, he used to walk around 12 to 13 miles every single day.
Jesus fudge.
Easily at that job. And they say that if you're running a little behind on the packages that he tell you to pick it up, and you only have like a certain amount of violations before you're fired.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like slavery to you?
It is like slavery.
It just sounds like slavery, but with more steps.
I mean, work every single second out of you.
Yeah.
For not even a minimum wage. And that's why I would tell Jeff Bezos, and I'm talking to you, brother.
You want to call him out? You want to get the hot seat?
No. I'm sitting right here. I'm in the hot seat right now anyway because I called out Jeff Bezos probably. Wish we could pay us out. But look.
Pay us out. You got stock in Amazon?
Nah. What I'm trying to tell him is, you are the richest man in the world. You mean to tell me that you can't raise the minimum wage from maybe $40 an hour?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that those hundreds of millions of dollars,
or at least 30,
even $30 an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, why is it so hard? How much more money do you need, man?
Well,
how much more money do you need? And that's the issue with America. Look, America is so capitalist and greedy that, again, the notion of saying, hey, I'm gonna let my employees have some time to themselves,
it's so foreign to us.
in other words, sacrifice a little bit of money for the sake of your employees.
No sacrifice, no victory.
Because
That's a witty motto.
Because I want to continue about the documentary in the Michael Moore film. I'm sorry, the Michael Moore documentary, where the lunchtime in Italy is around maybe 1.5 to 2 hours, where you could literally I believe, I'm not sure if it was the Ducati factory or some company, and they all went back to one of the employees' houses. They all had lunch together, like a full course meal. and then went back to work. 4 hours later, then went back home.
4 hours.
Yeah, and I mean, the boss was like, yeah, just go ahead. And, the work is getting done. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. That sounds like a decent quality of life.
Yeah, the thing is, again, the ultimate business model is slavery. Once we, and this is where we get tinfoil hatish, everything that happened with the Civil War, we never really punished the South for.
We never did. We never did. They never.
And it seems like every time people have rose up in history and said, hey, we want to get treated better, you know what always happens? They send in the state guard or the police or the military, and they kill a bunch of people, and then it always escalates. I don't know how the rest of... Are you asleep?
No, I'm still
I don't know how the future's going to be looking, but I don't know. I'm kind of anti-big corporation right now.
You've always been anti-corporate.
Well, let's think about it. This is the only time in history of this earth where non-existing companies are more powerful than actual countries. I'm sorry, people are more powerful than actual countries, like Elon Musk.
Yeah, especially when you don't have like a physical location, like you're not one singular thing.
And we're also living at a time where we can literally create our own money.
Yeah.
Actually, we should create a cryptocurrency.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
I agree. Look at DogeCoin. Do you know why do you know what the founders of DogeCoin said?
What?
We have no idea why our coin is worth this much. This is literally horse crap. Do you realize that they said this was literally created as a joke? This has no value to anything. But when Elon Musk said Dogecoin to the moon or sun or whatever the hell he said, what happened? People became millionaires off of a piece of
propaganda.
Yeah. How about that?
Propaganda is a nice way of putting it, JT.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's call it that. We're living in some very weird times.
Yeah, we are.
You know, like Disney has a monopoly on the media.
Can we talk about the money printer?
The Federal Reserve?
Yeah. There's a lot of people. The idea right now is that the United States government might just be able to unlimitedly print money.
That's what they've been doing.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Well, first let me ask you, because you never answered earlier, how do you prevent workspace burnout? Actually, before we do that, we never introduced ourselves. Hey guys.
Hey y'all.
What a hell of a cold open. I don't know how many... Huh?
Actually, it was kind of dark.
Yeah, we probably have been going on 20, 30 minutes now.
Yeah,
we're only just...
I think longer than that. Probably for like 45 minutes. You gotta cut some of that out.
I mean, we can do whatever. I mean, we can let it ride. This can be intro, outro, whatever. But let's introduce ourselves. I am the Prince of Rhodes. We are the Victory Clique podcast with Tony Tone Man.
What's good?
And wanna be your boy Myles B, aka 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐖𝐴
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. If you are watching us on YouTube, go ahead on and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you can keep tuned in to all of our future 𝐻𝐻𝐿s going on. If you're watching us on Spotify or listening to us on Spotify, go ahead on and hit that follow button as well.
And also don't forget to follow us on our other social medias, Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah, just follow us on everything. I'm gonna put the links down in the doobly-doo, and just follow us, please. We need friendship. Anything you want to plug?
No.
Okay. You got anything else you want to plug?
Dragon Ball Z, the greatest anime.
Yeah, I stamp that.
Really?
But yeah, how do you feel? That's a conversation for another time. You don't want to say that. We can have the argument later. But how do you prevent worker burnout for yourself?
Myself, I guess the first thing I have to understand is that people are going to be people, and there's a lot of things that you simply can't control. So only really focus on the stuff that you can control.
What do you mean, like workplace drama?
If it's workplace drama, or you feel like you have a lot of tasks that are on your plate, and you feel like that you need to work so hard to impress the company or whatnot, and you have to remember that the company is a business. A business does not give a shit about you or your well-being. Technically, It doesn't.
We're a family here. Come on, come work these extra hours.
That's a bunch of bullshit. It's really your manager that makes the big difference.
Yeah.
And, luckily in my case, I've had a pretty great manager. Shout out to 𝐴𝐶, who's been very understanding.
Shout out to 𝐴𝐶.
To ass or
𝐴𝐶. Yeah.
Like the body spray?
Yeah. 𝐴𝐶. That's
or
𝐴𝐶.
axe in general.
Yeah, like I said, he's a very, very understanding manager, and he's not going to micromanage. If he understands that his employees are going to do what they have to do, in other words, he's not going to push people unless things need to get done in a certain amount of time. So if things are lagging behind or things don't look bad, he's not going to bargain anything. And that's the whole thing with micromanagement is that, again, people want to squeeze every single ounce for the sake of the company.
Yeah.
When truthfully the company doesn't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, and and I'm not going to name my employers or the company that I was previously employed, but the manager really can make all the difference, or really just whatever team you're working with. And I always refer to the office where the office works so well is because they really are just people, just vibing off of each other. And, they're all together because they need to work there. And, it's really it's just funny. Some of that stuff is so relatable. And
with Michael Scott as a manager, it's...
Yeah, I don't know. Would you be able to have him as a manager?
Fuck no.
I would extort the shit out of that company.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the reason I would stay there. I mean, listen. Again, no offense to Michael Scott's out there, but if you're doing anything that's Michael Scott related and I get fired, I'm going to extort that company.
I mean, you should probably be extorting whatever company you work for, anyways. They don't care about you.
Yeah. But even with all that said in mind, I guess all I'm trying to say is that just keep a peace in mind. That. Don't kill yourself for the company. Work your 8 hours, and when you're off the clock, go live your life.
And there's nothing wrong with being a good employee. I'm not saying don't do your job. Do your job.
But have a life.
Do not just be somebody that just goes to work. That shit is. I feel like that's something that really contributes to burnout. It's just people that feel like they're on this treadmill and they're just going, or this hamster wheel. Really, they're just going to work, going home, going to work, going home, going to work, going home. You can be passionate about what you do, but at the same time, don't let anybody take advantage of you.
Exactly.
But I actually love my old manager. I really did feel like a family connection. Everybody there really liked her. And we always exchanged gifts and stuff with each other. She remembered everybody's birthdays and all that stuff. She was really cool. But like I said, I'm not going to say the company's name. I don't know what they have going on, but they switched managers, and this guy...
He's an ass, isn't he? He's a micromanager?
No, and I'm not even going to say he's an ass, because I think he's a cool guy. He's really positive, and I fucking love positive vibes. He's like, what are we going to do today? He used to say this every day. What are we going to do today? And the response is, have a good day. Or something. Right. He was like, we're going to be positive and stuff. He was really, really cool in that aspect, but... The thing about the company is that we have cameras, and it is a good asset, I guess, to protect your company. But every time we walk past his office, watching the cameras. Before our old manager left, she said, "Oh yeah, he's been logging in, checking the cameras every day." It's like, why? Why are you doing that? Just because you have the power to do that doesn't mean you should just be constantly. What are my employees doing? What are my employees doing? There shouldn't even be a system in place for anything like that. And I don't know. And that's not the only place that I've ever worked for that had cameras either. At my old job at the hospital, we used to have cameras and stuff. They say, we couldn't be on our phones, which I feel like that's a stupid rule anywhere. We're in the 21st century now.
You know what's funny? That people, that's such a mid-2000s rule, because nowadays it would be a really good experiment to see how people live without having their smartphone for 24 hours. Just go out through a whole time routine, going to work, working, and then going home and living life without their cell phone at all. Most people nowadays cannot live without it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
it's
nowadays
essential. It's a utility.
it is. It really is essential to me. I feel like smartphones nowadays are the equivalent of like wands to a wizard or some shit. But yeah, I don't think it's reasonable to expect anybody to not have their phones on them, especially if you're in an atmosphere that respects communication. You know, you want people to be receiving messages and stuff. But yeah, I could understand it more for a hospital, but for the other location, no. There's no real reason to just be clocking your employees. What are you doing at 12:15? You need to be doing something.
It's like the whole notion of just a half an hour lunch break. I'm like,
it's disrespectful.
It's like, hold on, half an hour.
That's how much they can spare. It's like, okay, we can squeeze together about 15 minutes and then another 15 minutes here. And
like at least get like an hour and a half. Like maybe someone wants to eat a little bit, then take a nap. Just half an hour.
Oh my God, and you know, and it's a shame because most people are paid hourly, but that's why they would never really give more people time for that, because you know we would expect a certain amount of paid break, but they want people. If you want to take a longer break, you're not going to get paid. But the very idea that if your employee is tired and they can't work, you're just going to work them anyways. I mean, we wouldn't do that for anything else. If your car tire was busted, you wouldn't just go, nah, I don't care, and just keep driving. Like, if you really do treat your employees like an asset, I don't see how in any scenario that makes any kind of sense.
It's all slavery.
Yeah, I feel like you dozed off again, didn't you?
No, I wouldn't call it slavery personally.
Because it is slavery.
Because think about it. Not caring about the quality of your employee's life or well-being is just working them to death.
Yeah.
Valid point. And like I said,
okay, Myles, you might be asking, how much paid time off do you get?
I'm telling you. We don't get paid time off, but they don't take it off of our schedules to the point where like they go, oh, you're out of here, your ass is grass. They give us time.
They just take you off the schedule.
Yeah, or they'll just be like, hey, write down when we know you'll be off. So,
but do you get paid when you're not working though?
No, not unless it's for the sick leave during COVID season. So like,
and that's the craziest thing, because at the place I was just saying I worked at, we didn't get any sick time either, unless it was for COVID. And it's like, what the fuck? No, I'm not staying here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
If they did, it would come out of our regular PTO. And it's like, we don't have... y'all can at least give us 1 week of sick leave. Huh?
I was going to say rest or relaxation.
I mean, sure, no, a week of paid time off is ridiculous. To have to sit there and be like, okay, I can take 1 day off for, this funeral and another day off for this wedding. I just got to go out of town and come right back the same day. 7 days is not enough days in the year to have time off. It just isn't. And really, it's not.
I kid you not, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I kid you not. A week off. Okay, just think about it. Just think about the amount of things that you want to do throughout the whole entire year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't just do all that stuff on Saturdays and Sundays, all right? And only having 7 days. I think it was just 65 days.
Or even just going to the doctor. You need to take off that day off to go to the doctor? No. You're gonna work.
I'm laughing because I'm like that. Oh my god, that is not making any sense. It just doesn't. It's the fact that Myles, that you don't get any time off at all. Like, let's say that, you say, you know what, I'm completely burnt out, I'm stressed, I just suffered a loss, I need some time off.
See, but that's the thing. I don't understand the mentality. They would rather work an employee until they're burnt out, and then they have to switch them over to some headhunter. Because that's usually what happens. Somebody will just work their time. Somebody that'll just kind of, not a sort of company, but somebody that'll just kind of write it out. Like, I'm gonna come here, do my job, save up, and then I'm going to the next place. I'm getting the hell up out of here in like 2-3 years, and it's a wrap. Employees like that are not with the long-term mission of your company. So I don't understand why that's the model that we're favoring, of just this employee is going to work here for a certain amount of time, quit, and then we'll just hire somebody else and then they'll quit.
That is the reason why we've seen a rise in entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And I keep bringing this up everywhere on my social media, but is it not weird that everywhere is hiring? If you look at all these lower level places that don't give time off, this, that, and the third, you know, low wages, none of these places have a full staff. I'm talking McDonald's, even Starbucks.
Target today.
Target. Everywhere is hiring.
Food line.
Everywhere. And that's the thing, and I'm gonna start taking a tally. I'll throw it up, I guess, up here. If we go out tomorrow, just how many places say they're hiring. Everywhere I go nowadays, it seems like people are, their staffing is empty, but nobody wants to take those damn jobs.
It's not paying enough.
It's not paying enough. You don't have enough time
off. If the
off.
government can give me a better wage than my own job can, that is a problem.
It is a problem.
It is not the government's fault. Don't get mad about the fact that the government is giving the money. It's the fact that the government is willing to give $600, which is free money, to people which is less than what they're paid to do 9 hours a day, sweating.
And the thing is, and the argument is, they're all gonna quit their jobs, they'll get paid this money. But if $600 is enough for you to quit your fucking job, then you are not a good predicament. No.
It's not good at all.
Yeah.
And like I said, people are starting to see that. That's why a lot of people are focusing on becoming an entrepreneur. You know, at least
or that
becoming.
too.
You said what?
I said rioting.
Well, that's what you'll see. But even with that, you know, like I said, people start saying, you know, I'm gonna go just work for myself. Why? I'd rather pay myself with what I think I deserve, which is ownership of my own product or some kind of service. But now, if you're on Twitter, particularly on Black Twitter,
LLC Twitter,
LLC Twitter versus working Twitter. I just want to point out, why is there a war between the two?
Every tribe is at war with everybody. All the barbs are at war with the
barbs. Oh, I think Minaj folk.
Yeah, they're gonna come on our asses up with anybody who gives Nicki Minaj any smoke. But yeah, all these internet tribes are always warring with each other. But I mean, the thing is, when I was growing up, I remember I would do chores and stuff around the house, and sometimes my parents would be like, you know, you do this, I'll pay you for it. And I remember there was one point where my mom was like, you know, a job doesn't pay you for every single job that you do, they just pay you for the time. And that's what I was trying to get at earlier. Everywhere is hourly now. If you're an entrepreneur, you're taught to, you know, how many revenue streams can I get from this one asset, right? If you have like a piece of property, you can rent it out and, you know, do this, that, and the third, do it as a bed and breakfast, or, you know, something with, you know, if you own land or property, right? And I mean, and to be honest, really rich people kind of really don't work. There's no such thing as a billionaire that earned that money. I'm not going to say they didn't provide a value or a service.
That has 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Seriously.
There's no amount of work of actual labor that people are actually doing in, and I know that might kind of seem counterintuitive, especially because earlier I was just saying all that stuff about, you know, nobody wants to work these jobs, but, you know, there is not enough transactions that a single Starbucks employee or whatever can make that would generate that kind of money. But that doesn't mean that the work is any less essential than the next thing. Everybody needs to have enough money to live off of for society to function. But that just, I don't know, at what point in time did all billionaires and really rich people just say, I'm gonna be a selfish asshole?
Rockefeller.
You think so? It was around that time? Because they say, who's actually a really philanthropic person?
Who?
John D. Rockefeller.
Rockefeller said, I need employees, not thinkers.
Yeah.
He basically said that, kind of made the blueprint foundation for public schools in terms of to train people to become employees.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
But the thing is, when he died, I thought he gave like a lot of money away.
Well, I'm not sure. I gotta look that up, of course, do some more research into it. What I would say is monopolies.
Yeah.
The thing was just monopolies overall in general, like, you know, the idea of a pure capitalistic country being supposed to get as much money as it can for every single second of it.
I feel like that country would consume itself. It would boil itself. It's not boil, but it would demolish itself. It'd burn itself to the ground. Because everybody, a society like that just says getting money.
Stop right there, Myles.
Okay, I guess we can call it.
Yeah. So yeah, he is gone.
But yeah, this is the Victory Clique podcast again. It was 𝐕𝖎𝖈 𝕚𝑔𝐼 over here.
But
knocked the hell out.
96. Good lord, that man's knocked out. That man's snoring.
I'm gonna adjust it to get him on camera.
Righteous. Nah, he's done.
No, yeah, he's donezo.
He's done. But and so are we.
Yeah. What the fuck was that? We have to do an outro.
Oh, that's right.
It's the Victory Clique podcast again. This is Tony Tone Man, the Prince of Rhodes, and 𝐕𝖎𝖈 𝕚𝑔𝐼. Follow us on all the social medias. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead on and hit that like. Go ahead and leave us a comment. What do you think was interesting in today's episode? What do you want us to talk about more? What do you want to hear us talk about next time? Like I said, leave us a like, leave us a comment. Go ahead on to subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you are on Spotify or any other listening platform like Apple Podcasts or something, go ahead on and follow us up there. I hope you guys are doing good, and remember, the world is ours. Peace.